Shalom. I want to give all the praise, all the glory unto Yahweh, Bahashem, Yahushai, Bahashem, Rakakwadash. Double honors goes out to the elder apostles of Great Millstone for teaching me the truth. Also, want to acknowledge all the Akyam who are pushing the truth with sincerity throughout the four corners of the earth. Shalom to the hopeful elect. All right, so with that, the Spirit has me in Psalms chapter, the 5th chapter. Start at the top at verse 1. It says, a psalm, give ear to my words, O Yahweh, consider my meditation. So this is a this is a prayer of the elect, because King David was of the elect, right? So he said, give ear, hearken unto give ear to my words, O Yahweh, consider my meditation. Because when you go into this truth, you realize that Yahweh doesn't give ear to everyone's prayers, like Christians like to try and tell you. Like you say, oh, you're going to pray to the Most High, you're going to pray this and that, but guess what? He don't give ear to everyone's prayer. But that's why it's a humble prayer, even though we're of the elect, or we're the hopeful elect. We still, in a humble way, we say, give ear, meaning listen to our prayer, hear our words, hear our cry, right? Because, let me grab this precept real quick. And I'm going to make this lesson short tonight, so just got the new gig, and I've been at work. So let me show you this. King David saying, give ear to my words, O Yahweh, consider my meditation. So we go to precept in Isaiah 55 and verse 10. It says, let me see. Wait, that's not the one I want. Let me see. Bear with me. I'm trying to. Let me find it here. All right, so let's see. Okay. Let's go to Proverbs 15 and 29. It says, Proverbs 15 and 29 says, Yahweh is far from the wicked, but he heareth the prayer of the righteous. So he's far from the wicked, meaning he don't even hear the prayer of the wicked. So you got to think, if you're busy over here calling on Cesare Borgia, a.k.a. Jesus Christ, and you're praying, these people that pray, these Christians, they pray to Jesus Christ, and that's a wicked thing to do, because you ain't going to be praying to know Jesus Christ when you know the truth. You see, you're not going to pray to a so-called white God or a so-called white Messiah. That's a wicked thing to do, set up by the wicked. So literally, Yahweh is far from the wicked, so he don't even hear the prayer of the wicked. He hears the prayer of the righteous, okay? And I'm going to grab this real quick, too, to precept what we're reading here. Because people think that, just they can pray, and they sit there and pray, but they don't realize that their prayer is an abomination. Like, if you're praying to the Jesus Christ, your prayer is an abomination. Yahweh's not gonna, answer that prayer. Just like if you were a woman and you had a husband, and your husband, you call him by another man's name, he's not gonna appreciate that. So why would Yahweh appreciate you calling on another another name outside of Yahweh Bashem Yahushai? See, and it's always the spirit. We spend a lot of time talking about the names, because what I've noticed is these Christians, they always try to minimize it, and they act like it's not even a big deal to call on. They say stuff like, oh, you can call on any name. God knows your intentions, but that ain't true. Proverbs 28:9. He that turneth away his ear from hearing the law, even his prayer shall be abomination. See that? So if you turn, if you're taught, if the prophets teach you the law, and you turn your ear from that law, like I said, if I say, hey, you shouldn't eat pork because this is one of the laws of Yahweh Bashem Yahushai, but then you say, oh, the Most High is not going to kill me for just because I eat pork. He loves me too much to do that. But guess what? That's part of the law. So let me read it again. He that turneth away his ear from hearing the law, even his prayer shall be abomination. So if you're not even trying to keep the laws, or you don't consider the laws, guess what? Your prayers don't crack the clouds. Yahweh does not answer the prayer of the wicked, all right? That's a wicked thing to break the law, right? So a simple thing like not eating pork, or if you're a man and you don't have your beard grown out, right? Like, yeah, there's exceptions because there's men who can't grow beards, but if you can grow a beard, that's part of the law. So in other words, if you're not following these laws, guess what? Your prayer is an abomination to Yahweh. You know? Go back to Psalm 5. And I chose Psalm 5 because I'm a little bit short on time. But it's a short chapter. Verse 2. Well, I read it, but I'll read it again. Hearken unto the voice of my cry, my King and my power, for unto thee will I pray. All right, so we got to pray. We got to use the right name. The King David, he said, for unto thee will I pray. So he's telling you, you got to pray to Yahweh. You can't just use any name. You can't just say God. He says, unto thee will I pray, meaning he's talking about Yahweh. All right? These Christians, they don't have a name. They'll just call Yahweh God. That's a title. That's not a name. Verse 3. My voice shalt thou hear in the morning, O Yahweh, in the morning will I direct my prayer unto thee and will look up. See that? So yeah, pray. We should get in the habit of praying as much as possible. You see, as being of the hopeful elect, really pray every chance you get. Pray when you can, you know. Meditate on the word. You're driving in your car, think about these scriptures. Think about these verses. That's a characteristic of the elect. You know, at the end of the day, we deal with all these things in life, but then at the end of the day, we have our mind always goes back to Yahweh Bashem Yahushai. And that you know, that goes without saying with the prophets. We wake up, we you know, like Michael Jordan when he played basketball, he ate, slept, he basically always was thinking about basketball. In that same fashion, we should be thinking about Yahweh Bashem Yahushai if we're of the elect. That's the characteristic we have. It's not it's a lifestyle. It's not like something you just do. Like the Christians, they'll be a Christian on Sunday, but the rest of the week, they're just a nigga or a spick, you know, acting like a wicked ass. This is something, it's literally a lifestyle. You always go back to the thoughts of Yahweh Bashem Yahushai. All right? So it says, and it says in the morning, you know, I will, O Yahweh, in the morning I will direct my prayer unto thee. And so that's another characteristic of the prophets. Morning is early, right? So what does this the scriptures say? Let me get this for you. My prophets. There's this. Okay, this is the verse I'm going to bring out. Is Jeremiah. Okay, remember this verse we just read. It says, "My voice shall hear thou in the morning, O Yahweh," because it's a metaphor. Because it's a metaphor for praying early, and really the Lord's servants, His prophets, we wake up early to this truth before everybody else, and then we've been set up as teachers. But we wake up early. It's a metaphor. We wake up earlier than everybody else. Then we share this word. We teach this knowledge. So I'm going to go to. Well, there's a couple here. I'll do Jeremiah 44:4. It says, "Howbeit, I sent unto you all my servants the prophets, rising early and sending them, saying, oh, do not this abominable thing that I hate. You see? So Yahweh, he gives his message to his prophets. He gives his understanding to his prophets before everybody else. And then, our job is to go out and teach. So it says in this verse, I have sent also you unto my servants the prophets, rising up early as in the morning, and sending them, saying, return ye now every man from his evil. Oh, I'm sorry, I'm reading a different one. Salakia. But that one's a good one too. That's the same one I was about to read. But 44, howbeit I sent you my servants the prophets, rising early and sending them. So Yahweh is the one who sends us out. It's a spirit he puts on us and sends us out. It's not a choice we've made. It's a choice Yahweh made to put on us the spirit. It says, saying, oh, do not this abominable thing that I hate. So we out here telling you what Yahweh hates. Because the Christians ain't going to tell you what he hates. Just basic things like celebrating pagan holidays like Christmas, Thanksgiving. You see, we're coming out here, and I'm going to go to Jeremiah 3:15 real quick. But we're coming out here telling you what Yahweh hates. You see? So you gotta get in that spirit of, first of all, you gotta learn what he hates. You ain't gonna learn that in a Christian church. Because Yahweh hates, he don't like, when did you read about Yahweh Shai celebrating Christmas or celebrating Thanksgiving or celebrating Halloween in these verses? You never will read that. But this is why. It's Jeremiah 3:15. It says, and this is Yahweh telling Jeremiah, and I will give you pastors according to mine heart, meaning my mind. He's going to give you pastors according to his mind, which shall feed you with knowledge and understanding. You see? So he's actually having mercy on the nation of Israel by setting up his prophets who rise up early, and we feed you with knowledge and understanding. And we're teaching you what Yahweh hates, like we read earlier. The Christian church don't teach you what he hates. Otherwise, they wouldn't be celebrating, they wouldn't be doing half of the shit that they do in those churches. All right? Psalm 5 and verse 4. It says, for thou art not a God that hath pleasure in wickedness, neither shall evil dwell with thee. All right? Yahweh doesn't take no pleasure in wicked things, like calling the names wrong. That's wicked. Like I say, I always use this analogy. If a woman was to call her husband by another man's name, that would be a wicked, evil thing. See, even the cat had to meow on that. See. So this is verse 5. The foolish shall not stand in thy sight. Thou hatest all workers of iniquity. All right. So the foolish, that goes into non-believer. If you're a fool, literally, that when you look up that word, it means a non-believer, meaning you're a fool if you've been taught the truth and you still don't believe. Yahweh looks at you as a fool. That's foolish. And it says, thou hatest all the workers of iniquity. Iniquity means sin upon sin upon sin, continuous, perpetual sin. That's what iniquity is, right? Verse 6, thou shalt destroy them that speak leasing. Yahweh will abhor the bloody and deceitful man. All right? And who's that chief bloody, deceitful man? It's Esau, Edom. You see? Let me prove that he's the bloody, deceitful man. We'll go to Ezekiel 35:5. Because it's talking about Esau, Edom, the so-called white man, in this chapter, Ezekiel 35. I'm not going to get into that. You just have to take my word for it right now. But verse 5 is in Ezekiel 35, it says, because thou hast had a perpetual hatred and hast shed the blood of the sons of Israel by the force of the sword in the time of their calamity, in the time that their iniquity had an end. Therefore, as I live, saith Yahweh the Most High, I will prepare thee unto blood, and blood shall pursue thee. Sith thou hast not hated blood, even blood shall pursue thee. So, all right, we go back to Psalms, and let me read it again. Thou shalt destroy them that speak leasing. The Lord will abhor. That word abhor goes into hate. So the Lord Yahweh hates the bloody and deceitful man. And guess who we just read about? Esau in verse Ezekiel 35:6. Esau does not hate blood, meaning he's a killer. He tries to kill the Israelites since the beginning of his inception. since Esau and Jacob all the way up until now. The so-called white man, it's a natural hate towards the Israelites. That's why he shoots you down in the street. That's why he brought you over as slaves. That's why he tried to conquer you as the native so-called Native Americans. Because why? Because he likes blood. You're supposed to hate blood, meaning you're supposed to hate shedding blood, killing people. But that's not what the so-called white man does. He has a taste for blood, making him the wicked. So go back to Psalm 5 and verse 7. It says, "But as for me, I will come into thy house in the multitude of thy mercy, and in thy fear will I worship toward thy holy temple." All right? So guess what? We're supposed to fear Yahweh more than love Yahweh. All these Christians running around talking about, oh, I love God. God is good. I love God so much. But you never hear them walking around saying, I fear Yahweh. I fear the Most High. All right? It's more important for you to fear Yahweh than to love Yahweh. All right? And yeah, you should do both, but fear is the beginning of wisdom, not love. The Bible don't say love is the beginning of wisdom. All right? Let me see where we at. Verse 8. It says, "And in thy fear will I worship toward thy holy temple." All right, so verse 8. "Lead me, O Yahweh, in thy righteousness, because of mine enemies. Make thy way straight before my face." You see? So Yahweh knows that we have enemies. So we should be praying that, our enemies the Lord doesn't allow our enemies to overtake us. So when you're going to that Christian church and you're an Israelite, guess what? Your enemy's overtaking you because he's teaching you lies. He's causing you to err. All right? You're supposed to love and fear Yahweh according to this knowledge, according to this truth, not according to the doctrine of men. All right? Let me grab this verse real quick, this precept. This is in Isaiah. We're going to go to Isaiah 5 and 14. It says, this is, okay, let me see. All right, I'm going to start at 13. It says, "Therefore my people are gone into captivity because they have no knowledge, and their honorable men are famished, and their multitude dried up with thirst." So Yahweh puts his people, the Israelites, you so-called Black, Latino, and Native American, he puts you in captivity because you have no knowledge. Because our people, they don't have the knowledge of the names. That's why he set his prophets up early. Metaphor would be in the morning, rising up early to show you the true names. Because he gives his secrets to his prophets first. And then we teach the nation. So that's what it is. But you don't have knowledge. That's why you went into captivity. Because guess what? During the history of the Israelites, we forgot about Yahweh, Bahashem Yahushai. We took on other gods. We adopted other gods from all the nations we were scattered in as a punishment. So then, literally our people lost those names in all the different captivities. So let me keep reading. "Because you've done this, Israel, because you sit here calling on different gods, calling on different powers, you don't call on the true names, Yahweh, Bashem, Yahushai. Well, this is what happens. Verse 14, "Therefore, hell," and hell means grave. Right? When you go into that word hell, it means grave in the Greek. "Therefore, hell hath enlarged herself and opened her mouth without measure, and their glory and their multitude and their pomp, and he rejoiceth shall descend into it." So guess what? Because you're calling on these true wrong names, not only are you going to go into slavery, captivity, not only are you not going to have knowledge, but your hell is enlarging itself. I mean, you're taking yourself to the grave. You're taking those false gods to the grave. You see, you're not calling on the true power that can deliver you from anything. Right? Even a nuclear missile, he can deliver you from a nuclear missile, but not if you're calling on the wrong names. Go back to Psalms 5. We're almost done here. What am I on? Verse 9. Psalm 5 and 9, it says, oh shoot, what did I do here? Anyway, I'll just read it off the phone. But it says, or I'm sorry, verse 9. For there is no faithfulness in their mouth. Their inward part is very wickedness. Their throat is an open sepulchre. They flatter with their tongue. And that's what these Christians do. They're more about flattering you than actually teaching you, right? Like if you look at the Hebrew Israelites, the way we teach like Yahweh Shai with authority. Sometimes it's like when you have a kid. If you have a son, you're going to be hard on your son, and you're like, hey, what the fuck are you doing? What the fuck did you do that for? You're not going to be sitting there kissing his ass and tell him, oh, don't worry, son. No, you're hard on him. You're rough with him. How's he going to learn if you're just kissing his? That's why you have America, a nation full of soft men and pussies, because they get emotional rather than being taught like men, right? These Christians, they'll flatter you with their tongue. They ain't going to teach you the truth, because if they teach you the truth, you're liable to stop going to their church, you see, and stop giving them tithes. See, the true men of Yahweh B'Shem Yeshai, we don't give a damn about your tithes. We don't give a damn about your money. We don't get rich off of this truth. All right? Verse 10, destroy thou them, O the Most High Yahweh, let them fall by their own counsels, cast them out in the multitude of their transgressions, for they have rebelled against thee. You see that? If you're not calling on the true names, you're a rebel. If you're worshiping Jesus Christ, you're literally a rebel. And when you go into that word rebel, let's get it real quick. Rebel, this is the definition. A person who rises in opposition or armed resistance against an established government or ruler. All right? So the ruler is Yahweh. So you're literally rising up against Yahweh, being a rebel, calling on the wrong names or not honoring the law. You remember, your prayer doesn't even reach the clouds. Your prayer is an abomination if you don't consider the law. Verse 11, but let all those that put their trust in thee rejoice. Let them ever shout for joy, because thou defendest them. Let them also that love thy name be joyful in thee. So you got to know the name. You can't just call on God, which is a title. It says, let them that love thy name be joyful in thee. See? It says, let all those that put their trust in thee rejoice. Who's putting their trust in Yahweh B'Shem Yahushai? The hopeful elect are. Not anybody else. Not the heathen. Not the 2/3 that reject the true names. You see? Not the, not the other nations. Definitely not Esau, right? He set up that deception. He set up that idol, which is, Cesare Borgia, a.k.a. Jesus Christ. He set that man up to be a Messiah, which is a lie. Verse 12, for thou, Yahweh, will bless the righteous. With favor wilt thou compass him with a shield. Right, because Yahweh is our shield. He's our protection. He's our defense. Why would he defend you if you're calling on some other name? Or you calling Yahweh Shai Yeshua, or you're calling Yahweh Yah, or Yahweh. That ain't his name. See, so the names are important, all right? Let me grab this real quick since I'm on this now. And that's the spirit, that it goes back to the name, because you got a lot of these Christians, they'll try to minimize the fact and how the importance of the name. So we go to Ecclesiastes 17:10. It says, and the elect shall praise his holy name. That word elect means chosen, eklektos in the Greek. So the chosen are going to praise his holy name. That's why you don't have everybody calling on the true names, because only the elect are going to praise his holy name. So with that, I want to go ahead and give all the praise, all the glory, all the honor unto the true name, Yahweh, B'Hashem, Yahushai, B'Hashem, Rikakodash. Double honors goes out to the elder apostles of Great Millstone for teaching me the truth. Also want to acknowledge all the Akyam who are pushing the truth with sincerity throughout the four corners of the earth. And Shalom to the elect. Shalom, brothers. May you endure to the end. Shalom.